Todd's dead on, though, I think, as far as, like...
Why can't I be dead on?
Because she's got better hair.
You know, we got emails that said that. Some guy telling me, look at the Minionville guy, cut your hair.
But I think for the long-term investor, and this is perfect now for Saul to come in, we need to pay attention to how we're getting there, not these day-to-day blips, today being the perfect example.
Absolutely.
How we went...
Preservation.
There you go.
Preservation. All you,
Long-term.
Tracy.
All right, well, it's not just Wall Street. Falling interest rates can have a big impact on consumers, too. Joining us now, Saul Simon, certified financial planner from Lincoln Financial. He's here to talk about how you can benefit from the cut. Saul, thank you so much.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Do people call you Paul Simon? Do they slip?
Sometimes.
Do they ask you to sing?
And sometimes they do. How did you know I have a good voice? I love to sing. Sometimes to make a reservation, I accidentally make me say
You're Paul. Good for you. Way to work it. All right, so we get these rate cuts. We're getting a lot of them. But people need to understand how they affect you, if they affect you at all at home. Because, man, the media makes a big deal out of it.
Right. No, they definitely affect you. You know, basically what's happening is over the past week or so, the Fed lowered rates 1.25%. And what that means from an expense perspective is that my monthly payment on home equity lines of credit are going to be reduced. So if I have a $100,000 home equity line of credit, I just saved about $100 a month in my out-of-pocket expenses on that particular variable rate note.
And that's assuming it's a variable rate.
Absolutely.
If it's fixed, nothing's happening.
Correct.
Same old check every
Correct.
month. And the reason it's changing is because most variable rates are tied to the prime rate, which is generally about 3% more than the federal funds.
Yep, you got it.
So if federal funds is now 3, you add another 3, we're like at 6% prime.
Yeah, that's right. And most consumers should, in their home equity line, actually can receive a home equity line at prime -1.
Right.
So, for example, right now they're not paying 6, they're now down to 5. And that has an implication. And one of the things I kind of say to people, Simon says, is that they should continue to make those payments that they were making to knock down and reduce that debt.
That's a great tip, actually, because then that comes off quicker, plus that's a bigger deduction.
Exactly. All the interest is deductible. And, you know, you may see some loan rates lowered in the credit card area. You may see notes lowered in automobile kind of loans. And but on the other hand, that's like expenses. Now, on the other hand, you have savings.
Right.
So all of a sudden, my money market accounts, my bank savings accounts, CD rates
are all lower.
Which now, if I'm a retiree living on these types of money products, these financial products, my income has just been reduced, and I now have lower disposable income, which can affect my cash flow.
And that's a great point. So do you move that money? Should I take it out of money markets, maybe put it in a short-term bond fund?
Well, you know, there's also risks in bond funds because as interest rates maybe rise, which I'm not saying that's going to happen immediately, but you can't put money into a bond fund thinking it's got the same security and guarantees that a bank CD does.
Right.
Now, a couple thoughts. Number one, for a person that has a 401k plan, some of these people may have money parked in their money market account, and they really want to be conscious as to how it's invested, how it's allocated, because the 401k plan is long-term money.
Right.
And candidly, it really shouldn't be in a money market account, but maybe it's sitting on the sideline. But they should literally look into maybe a bond fund or look into maybe a fixed type of an account.
Right. Because with bonds, not to cut you off, but the interest rate risk is that if you lock yourself into a rate now and then the rate goes up, there's your risk. You're leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, what people need to be.
An individual bond.
Right. Now, you got to talk about housing, too, though, you know, because, all right, rates are coming down. Should I refinance? But we also know that the Fed's going to cut again. So you might get people sitting on the sidelines saying, I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to wait till it goes lower and lower and lower and lower. And then what happens?
Some people, unfortunately, it's not going to make a difference for them because they've gotten themselves into some serious debt.
Right.
And they may not be able to refinance, and I don't care what rates they're at, because of the guidelines in lending right now. Do you sit on the sideline and wait? Yeah, it's your choice. I don't know your situation. You know, that's what a financial planner needs to help. Yeah, you need to figure out what kind of impact that has on your plan.
So one more thing, other than short-term bond funds, where should we be looking?
You know, one of the things also people are looking at is annuities for higher rates, but that's also going to have an implication because everybody across the board lowers rates.
Sure.
But people are afraid of outliving their money, and that's why sometimes annuities as a product could be advantageous. Another area that could be an advantage right now is dividend-paying stocks.
because they're always doing well and dividends are going up. People, we should note, though, that your long-term mortgage is not really affected by all this. So keep making your mortgage payments, otherwise you're going to end up part of the whole
Get out of debt.
Mets.
That's
Thank
right.
you so
Thanks for having me.
much.
Fun.
All right, well, on tap, it may be a good thing to take risks from time to time, but how much is too much? And when is enough enough? Fox News contributor Janine Pirro is back with the answers when Happy Hour returns.